You are now listening to In the Trench.
I have to do that to match up the audio and Premiere. Welcome back to another episode of In the Trench. Today we have Luis.
Hello.
And it's going to be a pretty chill episode today. We have a lot of stuff to get into. We just finished watching this movie that we're about to gush over for at least, I don't know how long. First out, shout out to Kayla and Kyle over at Amore Pizza Davy, AmorePizzaDavy.com. Get your pizza, get your pasta. What's your favorite Italian food?
I would say.
Well, they got it. They got it. So
probably pizza.
They got it.
I could say something else to feel fancy, but pizza.
Yeah, exactly. And they got that shit. And thank you for the mics, Alliance Technology. What kind of mics you like? Well, they got them too.
Yeah.
DirecTV, internet, they got them. See how cool that is. All right. Old Boy.
Good. So I watched the Korean version. You watched the.
I watched the American version.
I guess the American version. So how does it start in the American version?
Okay, first, let's back up. Why did I watch the movie?
Because I drilled it into your brain to watch the movie.
I am very, very, very happy you did.
Because I couldn't watch that by myself. I needed somebody else to
experience it. Oh, well, I will say something. I'm traumatized. I've never seen. First of all,
I think that's what the movie is supposed to do, traumatize you.
I mean, the movie came out in 2013, so huge spoiler warnings. If you haven't seen it, definitely go watch it. Unless you don't want to be completely traumatized.
You're too young.
Unless you're too young. Well, I'll tell you the how the American version. I did that because I'm a cut.
Oh, that's the cut? That's
moment.
The cut? Yeah, I get it. The dog. Hello, France.
I did a snap, so I'm going to cut it from the snap and I'll...
You got to put a transition to puppy break.
Yeah.
Just
make sure she doesn't fuck up the cables.
Yeah. Speak this way. Speak this way.
You.
This way. Or
drink your water and then leave. Hello.
just like a music. Puppy break.
I like that, like elevator music.
Just a song.
Okay, well, Greg sounds like a World War II machine bomber.
You want to talk in the podcast? You have something to say? So important.
The snap happened. Gotta wait for the snap to end.
We gotta get this one.
Well, I gotta wait for this man to come inside. Oh, I gotta show you after the podcast.
What's that fake ass tongue, dude?
It's fine.
Yeah, no.
Andres.
Picking up his, like,
Yeah, because he's loud as shit. Can you take them to your room? Yeah. Oh, and my mom has the movie. You're watching a movie right now.
oh,
Wait, which one did you give him? The Korean or?
I purchased.
Oh, you purchased the American
version.
Okay, but it seems like it's the same effect.
It's the same movie. It's the same effect.
I just appreciate. Like I'm a hipster.
No, I'm
I'm
the same way. I'm the same way. I've seen Train to Busan. I've seen.
Like I want to see the first one first.
Andres, you're watching a movie called Old Boy. Old Boy. Yeah, you're gonna go watch it.
And then we're gonna talk about it.
I'm sure. Talk about
you
it.
Definitely want to talk about it.
I'll see you in an hour and 43 minutes.
Should have matched it up so he just comes out running like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Did you make me watch?
What is Nicole?
The producer took a pee break.
All right, remove the doggos.
Yeah, look at
And close the door.
Cesar Millan, bro.
Hey, can you take them a water bowl real quick? Just put a water bowl inside of there.
Jamie, please, real quick.
Thanks, Jamie. And look something up for me on
No,
Google.
but his dad did. I just said something, and the dog just followed him like.
Oh, he's the dog whisperer.
Hey, that boy thirsty.
Here, go. Andres, llamalos que tienen agua. Oh, he went to go look for water. Wait till they go in and then close the door.
Going there. Going there.
Yeah. Damn, all three of them.
Yo, just a three-way on that ball.
Good job, babes.
Snapper telling half.
Okay, is it still everything still recording?
Yeah, sure it is.
What a transition. People don't know that like 10 minutes just passed.
Okay.
Old boy. So you told me to watch this movie, me and Nikki, and he watched the Korean version. I watched the American version. We're gonna find out the similarities that there are in it.
I'm actually interested.
Holy fuck.
So, how does I want to know this stuff because I haven't even seen it.
Okay, well, it starts, to be very clear, honest, I don't know really what his job was in the beginning. Was he I don't know if he was like some talent agent or something?
In the Korean, the guy doesn't even have a job. It's so you have no idea what's going on.
Okay, yeah, we really had no idea at all what was happening in the beginning. So he was at like some job. He's a drunk. That's established from the beginning that he's like this raging alcoholic.
Same thing. They're both raging alcoholics. Okay.
Yeah. And he had this meeting with some black guy and some Asian at a restaurant, and he was trying to
That's completely different.
He was trying to get this black guy, and he was like a rapper, I think.
Oh wow! I don't get cultural.
And he was trying to get him on.
Is it kind of on the nose? You know, because trying to be American, so they put like hip hop guys in there.
Well, no, the guy looks like, I don't even know if he was a rapper. Because he mentioned something. No, he said rapper. He said he wanted to get a rapper on it. Like, I think it was a talent agency, whatever. He was trying to get him on. And then the guy said yes, that he would come on to his talent agency at some dinner. And then he gets up and leaves. And then he goes and tries to sway his wife. It was very strange. The guy's wife, the rapper's wife. And she's like, do you think I want to fuck you? And he's like, yeah. He's like, no, I wouldn't. I'd rather fuck a corpse. So the rapper sees that, comes back, slaps him up a little bit, and then he gets up and leaves. He starts walking into town late at night, drunk as tits. He's walking down an alleyway, drunk as tits. He walks up to like some lady in a cart with a bunch of little rubber ducks.
Oh, that's creepy.
But it's they put a lot of the Japanese Asian culture in there.
Yeah. They
just hints.
They know
They're
they're hinting
nodding.
back.
He's walking through.
They're nodding.
Milady.
Hold on. Devin is calling. Hello?
Hey, it's the Gay House. Well, I should just say, hey, Devin. But what's it called? The Old Boy movie. I'm looking for it, and it says it's unavailable in my location. You use the VPN for it, right?
No, you're looking at the Korean version.
I'll send you the link. It's all right.
There's an American version with Josh
all
Brolin. You could watch that one.
I wanted to watch the Korean version.
Yeah, that's my boy right there.
I watch anime, so I don't watch dub. I watch sub.
Dude, the subs are great. There's not even that much conversation, but it's just so good.
Yeah, I was
So
watching
good.
the trailer for it, and I'm like, okay, I see how this is good. But I've looked on Amazon Prime, and it's like, oh, it's unavailable for your location.
Yeah, that's what happened to us.
It's not even there.
Let me after the podcast or whatever, I'll send you the link. You can send it to him.
All right.
Oh, shit, you guys are busy?
No, you're on the podcast, by the way. Congratulations.
It's good. It's about Old Boy, so this is crazy.
Because we're talking about Old Boy right now, so it's kind
Oh,
of
perfect timing.
really
yeah,
is.
no, I wanted to watch it, but it's nowhere to be found. Hey, podcast, my name's Devin. I'm the guy. Just some random guy.
It's cool.
Yeah. So after the podcast, I'll send you the link.
I got the links, the legal links.
All right, yeah. Well, you're on the podcast. I was gonna say I'd give you my number, but I don't want it everywhere.
No, we'll do it later. Don't worry.
We'll do it
So,
later.
yeah,
We'll get a
call
hold
me
of you.
afterwards, or next time I see you, just let me know.
Sounds good, man. We got you.
All right, peace. Good luck with
Peace.
the podcast.
I appreciate it, man. See ya.
See ya.
That's our first phone call that we took on the podcast.
Big fanboy.
So anyway, he's at down some alley.
Yeah.
And there's some lady selling like these rubber ducks, these Korean rubber ducks, and they're like dressed as little sumos or whatever.
Yeah.
And
So-
she's like, "Oh, it's $5." And he's like, "Oh, you give me $5." He's like, "He's a shit dad." Oh yeah, it was his daughter's 3rd birthday or something, and he missed her party.
That's also in the.
Yeah, he missed her party for that dinner, for that special dinner, and he's just whatever. Like he's at that night, he's like, "Oh, my daughter's turning 3 today." Selling the lady, selling the rubber ducks, and it's like midnight or something.
And he buys a rubber duck.
And he buys a rubber duck.
Uh-huh.
he buys, and this rubber duck comes back.
Yeah. In the Korean one, it's a set of angel wings.
Okay. Well, this rubber duck comes back.
Yeah.
Comes full circle.
That's funny. It's like there's a difference in between like the movie making, I guess it's just the Korean culture. Oh, look at that. We got that on camera.
I'm sure we did.
How did that happen?
So there's like
Jamie?
this beginning part of the movie is not there in the Korean. It's literally him just being a drunk and getting in a holding cell in a jail, calling up a friend like, yo, can you pull me out? It's my daughter's birthday. I need to get her this gift. As soon as they get out, they go to a phone booth. They grab him, and that's it. That's where he gets kidnapped. It's like you get right into it.
We get right into it also, and it's
but like
similar but different.
That whole rapper thing. It feels like
so
like this movie. The cool part that really intrigued me about this movie, but it's also like Korean movies. They have little to no dialogue. This movie, like you're like subtitles, and you're like, oh fuck, I don't like that.
no reading.
But like it's
intense music.
It's not even that many. It's like a couple, and you get everything. It's just all there for you.
So he's like on the ground, throwing up, being disgusting. And he's knocking on his friend who owns like a bar. He's asking him for more alcohol. And the guy's like, no, I'll give you coffee. He's like, no, I want alcohol. And it's like, no. So whatever. So he turns around and he's walking to the middle of the street while it's raining. And some Asian lady approaches him with an umbrella. And from there, it cuts.
That's where he gets.
And he wakes up in a hotel room.
It looks like
a hotel room.
Same thing in the other one.
It was like a
But
hotel
it's
room.
a metal freaking door.
Yeah, and everything's like a sticker. There was a doorknob, and the doorknob was a sticker. He removes it, and he's freaking out. The shower was on to make it seem like there was somebody in the shower, but there was nobody in the shower, so he turns the shower off. And then he gets food. He gets Chinese food every day.
Chinese food every day under
the door. Yep.
Yeah.
And
in the Korean versions, it's there's no like spooky thing. It's literally just a room, like the most bleak room with just one tiny TV and this slit. And every day he gets dumplings.
Yep, every day he gets dumplings, and he fucking hates the dumplings. Wow, that's funny
because they kept the dumpling part.
So
it's like an American.
Well, the dumpling played a role almost.
No, of course, in this movie. That's why I say dumpling, because in the Korean one, they bring the dumplings back. But it could have been funnier if they did something else. But
if they
must
were
have been they were trying to do.
They were Locos Tacos.
Yeah, so like a certain thing. But I guess they kept it the same, or they're trying to like make it. Oh, this is an American in this situation.
Well, they really made everything kind of gross. Like, you see him, like, there's a scene where he's stuffing dumplings in his mouth to figure out which one tastes like the one he remembers.
Watch the Korean one, and I'm pretty sure it's probably grosser.
I'm sure it is. But, we'll get to what I'm thinking of.
So, no, at this point, I don't know if you remember, what were you thinking about? As soon as you see him
get
kidnapped.
First of all, when I see him, I don't see him get kidnapped. I just see the lady approach him.
Oh, well, yeah.
And you told me kind of what happened, so I knew he was going to get kidnapped. And he wakes up in a hotel room. And this is the part that I didn't understand. I was like, oh, he's in a hotel room. He just walk out, whatever. And then I realized, like, stickers, everything's there. And then he sticks his head under the slit where he's getting the food. And it's just like this metal place. Everything's like... It looks like a prison. It looks like a prison, yeah. So, whatever. He gets served vodka or alcohol every day.
In the other one, they did it.
Every day with every meal, he gets a bottle of alcohol. Yeah, so he's getting drunk every night, and he's.
That's interesting because in this one he keeps being a drunk, or does he avoid drinking afterwards?
So that's what happens. He keeps drinking for like 3 years, just drinking every meal, and then he sees time start to pass by. Oh, and then I think
on the TV,
that's how he sees time go by.
See,
they put the news
like the presidential, exactly.
Ooh,
he saw 9/11 happen.
You can see the 15 years or whatever.
Yeah, you can see. Yep. But I think a year in, that's when you first see the gas come in and knock him out. Oh, right. No. So he was jerking off. He was jerking off, and then as he was finishing, they knock him out with the gas, and they go and they collect all of his DNA samples, and then they frame him. They frame him for the murder of his wife. Of his wife. And then like a year later he sees on the news, he's flipping through the channels.
Yeah, he sees it.
I don't think it was a year later. I think it was like almost right away.
While he's in the room. He sees it on the news.
Yeah, but he doesn't, and they're saying, oh, it's like inevitable doubt that it is.
Of course,
him
because they found it right there,
Yep.
and he's on the run, can't be reached.
Yep. So
When I saw that, because I went into it blind, I saw him getting framed for the murder of his wife. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on?
Yep.
And then after that, they kind of lulled me into whatever, and then they got me right back in.
Yep. And I got mad. I'm like, fuck, they got him. This guy's stuck forever. And after, I don't know, a couple of years, he really starts writing notes every day to his daughter. And
I don't remember it.
he decides to get clean. He stops drinking. Every time he gets the bottle, he just dumps it in the toilet. And there's the same 3 channels that he watches are some lady doing yoga, boxing reruns.
I think I remember. Yeah, he watches some channels like that.
He watches old boxing reruns and something else.
Some like medical stuff in the
Yeah, and he just spends like 10 straight years just becoming this ultra beast. Every day doing pull-ups,
Is he
sit-ups,
like fighting the wall?
Fighting the wall. He's punching the wall,
cool thing.
leaving.
They make that like really nice scene in the Korean.
Yeah.
He just like, makes an outline of somebody and just starts, bah, bah, and just
No, in this one
and
he
then just destroys the whole outline of a person.
Yeah, no, in this one he's just like he's punching to the narration of himself saying that I don't know who you are or why I'm here, but I will find you and I will kill you, some shit like that. And he's just like bah, 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 and it's like leaving bloody whatever.
Getting ready.
So after actually before that happened, he already figured out that he could take tiles off of the bathroom wall, and there was a wall, like a room on the other side, like almost like a vent on the other side that he can get to escape. But it takes him a while to get rid of each tile because he's literally using his nail to pick
and they
the
probably
cement.
show it really close. And
The nail picking the cement.
It's just like the.
So after.
But before that, they're putting the mystery crimes of his daughter.
Oh yeah, and he was watching. There was like this show called Mystery Crimes, and he thought it was some famous show that everybody was watching, and it was like, oh, like today we have the mystery of Joseph Doucette who murdered his wife, and today we have his daughter and her adopted whatever, and he's like seeing this shit happen. He's like, damn, this is what he sees, and he finally. Like, every time he takes a tile off, he puts it back and puts toothpaste on it just in case he gets knocked out. Nobody notices. Yeah. And he finally realizes that today's the day he's going to escape. So he writes the final letter 20 years exactly after. And he starts escaping, but then comes back for the letters, and they knock him out.
Well, but he saw the show. That I think is very important.
Oh, yeah, because as he was leaving, the show turned on by itself. And it was his daughter, old.
Like all grown up.
All grown up.
But he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. And we think that's his daughter. Again, alluding to.
No, but at that point, you didn't know it was.
No, at that point.
You were so confused.
No, we knew that was.
Oh, that's his daughter.
Yeah, we thought that was his daughter. Yup.
He was going to go find his daughter, but he didn't know it was the girl in the crime show.
Well, he thought it was her.
No, yeah, we thought it was the girl.
The
No.
crime show keeps playing like every year, and they revisit his case.
Every year.
And they show her like
growing up.
On the show,
okay.
They show her growing up.
Yeah.
So he escapes, comes back, gets knocked out by the gas, but then wakes up clean cut, perfect in a case in the middle of somewhere with a phone. And it's 2013 now. It was 20 years. He got knocked out when he was 93. So now he's just put into this place. And as he gets out of the case, his phone has a timer on it. And he woke up with money, he woke up in a suit, woke up in a bunch of shit.
Like outside.
Yeah, outside.
Like on the roof of the place?
No, in some
That's
field.
That's where the other guy.
No, in some random field. And then he sees the girl with the umbrella and starts chasing her down. And then she runs into some high school. And this part was crazy. She runs into some high school football field. And he gets up to her and grabs her. And she's like, get the fuck off of me. And the football jock's like, bro, get off her. And they punch him. He then gets up and kills everyone.
He kills him. How does he kill? He actually kills him?
He kills 4 out of 5 of them. And the last one's about to kill the last one. And some girl's like, no, stop.
And the Korean one is super funny because he gets out and he's just like a bunch of Korean hoodlums or whatever. And they're like smoking cigarettes. They're like, can I have a cigarette? He takes his first puff of a cigarette after 14 years and he just passes the fuck out. And then the kids just get all up on him and they want to fight. And this is the moment where you're like, 15 years of fighting the wall, does it work?
Yeah.
That's when you start thinking,
it works.
oh, is it gonna work? Is it just gonna fail? Because I thought it was just gonna he's just gonna get beat the F up and just come back, I don't know, beat up and then get
I thought
better.
the same thing.
I guess he got superpowers by beating up the wall.
Bro, that wall made him Batman. Because he punched the dude so hard that he flipped, landed on his neck, and his neck snapped.
Oh, that's wild.
It was crazy.
They make this one bloody.
No, it was bloody as
There's blood on the
fuck.
other one, but it's not like this. They're probably bigger budget for this.
Oh, this one was big. Oh, dude, there was heavy names in this
budget.
movie.
No, I know. Samuel L. Jackson.
Josh Brolin,
just with that.
Josh Brolin,
You
Samuel L.
sold me.
Jackson, Elizabeth Olsen was in it.
I don't know.
She's Wanda. From
Oh, I
Star
know.
Wars.
Yeah.
She's in it, and her part.
Okay,
Okay.
Oh, I
So
don't
then
know.
he chases her after
That's-
he kills the guy.
So he kills the guys, except for one dude. These 15-year-old
Takes them
football
out,
stars.
Takes it out and everything.
And he grabs his pillowcase full of notes and keeps following this girl. And then he gets to
It's like medical line, like a red bus.
oh yeah, he gets to like a red bus.
Yeah.
Like people are donating blood, and he sees the umbrella. He goes and some homeless dude with the umbrella. The woman ditched it or something. And there's where we meet Elizabeth Olsen's character. And she's straight up like, do you need help? I can help you. He gives him her card. If you ever need somewhere to talk to, here's my card. Very random, but here it is.
She was just there, or like she was part of the nurse. She was
a nurse there,
okay.
yeah.
In the Korean version, he goes to like a sushi place. And I don't know if he does something wild when they meet, but in the Korean version, that's why I love it. He goes out and it's just all rough, and he just sits down and looks at her, and it's just she's a cute little like waitress or whatever. He's like, I've been trapped for 15 years. I want to eat something alive. And the girl just like, what the hell is going on? And they bring him just an octopus alive. And in the movie, you see him chewing the octopus alive.
They allude to that. There's a little Easter egg on that one.
And I should have looked it up, but I don't know if it's real. But he probably did it. He probably put an octopus in his face.
I'm sure he did.
And you can see how the octopus just tries to grab and just keeps eating.
Ew. I'm sure it was real. 'Cause
And then after that, which is like where you realize it's crazy at the end, but at the beginning you're like, that was a whatever thing. And then after he eats it, the girl touches his hand and he passes out and wakes up at his place with that girl. The girl like took care of her.
Okay,
And
so
that girl is, you know what I'm
I
saying?
know we'll get there. So kinda, there's a scene where he's looking for the dumplings. He's going to different Chinese restaurants.
That's
That's after, bro. The
He
only
does
reason
the
I'm
same
saying
thing.
only reason I'm saying that is because there's a scene where he stops at an aquarium in one of these and just looks at an octopus for like 5 seconds. So when he said that was an Easter egg I did catch. But no, so
I gotta watch this movie now.
so good.
You do.
He walked. We'll watch the Korean version, but he left, and he went to Chucky's, which is his friend's bar, and he's like, "Who are
Well,
you?"
that's after
20 years.
Does he have like crazy hair or like beard or anything? In the Korean, he looks crazy out.
His friend?
No, I mean him.
Oh, he was
after.
clean cut.
Clean. Oh,
everything.
they shaved him.
They shaved him when they
No,
released him.
Okay.
No, but before they released him, he looked like a fucking maniac.
Maniac.
He looked like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Nice.
That's what he looked like. But no. So he gets to Chucky's. And Chucky's like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "It's Joe." And he's like, "What the fuck?" And they get in, and he's showing him a computer. And Joe's like, "What the fuck is this? Like, how do I just gotta do type here? And what do I do?" So he's teaching him the computer, and he had a list of people who thought were the people who kidnapped him. He's trying to figure out who it was.
Yeah.
And he gets a phone call. He answers the phone, and it's like, the game has just begun or something like that. And
I wish I remember the names of the guys.
and he's like, stay tuned, answer my calls, some shit like that.
That's like the guy. That's the guy who put him in.
That's the main guy.
Yeah,
the main
that's
guy
the guy
calls
who
him
put him in
the cell,
whatever.
whatever that was. So they're going through each list, like, and then he goes to sleep, and he wakes up passed out, and his friend's like freaking out. He's like, Joe, wake up, Joe. And he's about to call 911, and then he sees the girl's card in his hand, and he calls the girl instead. So the girl comes and takes care of him.
When you see him, well, is there like a reasonable reason why he's passing out?
So
Was exhaustion
It was
It was exhaustion and dehydration.
well, that's what you think, right? Isn't it?
Well, that never.
Explain.
There's no spoilers anyways because we're spoiling everything. In the movie, it comes back that he's been like brainwashed into. No, he's been hypnotized.
Oh.
The whole thing has been a hypnotic. Like they train his daughter to like be hypnotized to like. They hypnotize her to hypnotize him, and they hypnotize each other into love.
So okay, yes, they do talk about that. They talk about that.
So
yes.
when he passes out the first time, how they meet and they like start like they end up at her place is because they hypnotize him to pass out to a certain word that she was hypnotized to say.
Okay, so yes, they come to that later.
At the end.
No, they come to that like in the middle of the movie.
Okay.
But in the beginning, he never passed out when he first saw her. And he passed out. So he told his friends, like, hey, how do I search so I can do it myself? You can go to sleep. And he teaches them how to use the computer. So he just spends the whole night searching. And then it just cuts to the next morning and he's passed out. It wasn't the girl. But the guy calls the girl. She comes and takes care of him. And then she starts reading his notes. That his letters that he's been writing to his daughter, explaining, hey, I've been here for 15 years. I miss you, blah, blah, blah. Like, they put me in here.
That's in the sorry, my bad.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, in the Korean one, that's how you rationalize. Oh, that's how she falls in love with him because she reads everything that's happened to him. So you're like, oh, so I can see how you can fall in love with somebody not thinking this is a whole master plan.
I can see it because she is
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So and then the first thing she did when he woke up said, "I believe you."
Yeah, it's the first thing she said.
And that's 15 years. It's not much that he lets you know what he wrote, but it's like really heartfelt card. So you can see somebody. You're like, it's a movie. So.
Yeah. So she always gets a soft spot for him, and he tells her, and then he gets another phone call, and he's like, if you want to see your daughter or whatever, you have a certain amount of time to find us or something, or it's just another like a threat, like we're here, like we're gonna find you someday or whatever.
In the Korean one, there's if I can remember correctly, there's really no threat. He really he's looking for them, and they're not really talking to him back.
Oh, really?
No. They're calling. They call him, and so he starts to try to remember anything, and they start going to like his old boss. His old boss is super old, and
he's looking for like people who might have
that might have wanted to kill him or something. And he first stopped his old boss, and his old boss was like in some retirement home, and he was like not even mentally there.
No, just checking off.
Yeah, just checking on people. So he goes off and checks off a bunch of people, and then he's like, okay, this isn't working. I have an idea. Let's find this Chinese restaurant. And he goes to like, it's called Dragon something, and she pulls up on her phone like, he's like, I need the yellow pages. How do we find this restaurant? So don't worry, my phone. It's like, it was called Dragon something, and she looks up Dragon Chinese food, and like 50 Chinese spots show up. So they go to each Chinese spot, and he's testing out dumplings every time.
In the movie, he says like, in the dialogue, he's like, a man will never forget what he ate for 15 years straight.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And then after they say, we're going to get dumplings. So he's trying every dumpling around.
Trying to
like locate the closest one because they would order it from the same place.
Mm-hmm. And he would get a dumpling, throw it out, like spit it out. And then to get to the last one, he ate one, swallowed, ate another one, swallowed. Stuff like 5 in his mouth at one time.
That's funny.
And then as he's finishing up, there was an order put on the counter. This huge order. And you see some shady ass dude walk in, and the guy, the restaurant worker is like, the usual, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. So the guy gets it, walks out, and he gets up and just fucking goes through the kitchen, steals some bike, and fucking just steals a bike and a hammer, and just follows his black car into some warehouse, and that's where shit starts to go fucking down.
That's the hallway scene.
That's the hallway scene.
He also has a hammer in there.
Have you ever seen the movie The Raid?
No.
Oh, that's a movie. It's a Korean movie also. That one is straight up Korean.
In the Korean version, he doesn't tell the girl that he found it. He just
doesn't.
In this one, he doesn't.
He wasn't with the girl. So the last restaurant, she leaves. She's like, I have my shift ends. No. My shift starts in about 10 minutes. I have to go. And he was by himself and goes into this warehouse. And then fucking first guy, boom, hits him with a hammer, turns around, sticks the fucking hammer in the guy's eye. and then he gets all the way to Samuel L. Jackson, which
Is it the
is
same like in a whole
giant
scene?
So before the hallway scene, he gets to Samuel Jackson, who's like the guy who runs the whole building,
He's like,
and he's in front of a bunch of screens where you see everybody stuck in the room. So he's like, it's time to feed the pets or whatever.
Motherfucker.
And yeah, he said motherfucker a lot. And
I haven't even seen the movie. I knew that.
so he gets Samuel Jackson, and this part was gross. He lays him down, and he gets a Sharpie, and he draws little dots across his neck, like a dash, and then he gets a razor, and he starts cutting off a piece at every dot, and the guy Samuel's like, "Fucking motherfucker, this," and he's like, "I want to make it so I could pull your head off with my bare hands." So he's going off, and
I gotta watch this.
dude, and you see everything. Like, it doesn't cut off. Like, you see, like, the special effects are good. And Samuel Jackson's fine. It's in there. He's in there. He's like, I don't know anybody's name. I promise. But check the cabinet. When he goes to check the cabinet, he sees his tape. He starts. He hears for the first time the other guy's voice, the bad guy's voice, the main guy. And then at that point, a goon is walking into the facility, and he sees everybody dead, and he's knocking on the door. And Samuel Jackson, he's like, "Get the fuck away from the door! Get the fuck away from the door!" And then Josh Brolin gets up, grabs him, puts a knife to his neck, and walks down. There's a bunch of goons there, and he pushes Samuel L. Jackson, and this motherfucker takes on like 80 people at once.
It's the funniest because you're like, there's no way.
No,
And it just goes super Power Ranger on him,
bro,
and it's hilarious. In the Korean one, he pulls somebody's teeth out with the back side of the hammer for the nails. He just takes it out.
No, I didn't. I don't remember seeing that, but I know it was like waves of people. So he would.
It
he would
was
destroy
like,
the first.
It was like zombie game.
Yeah, he would destroy the first 16
Like a
people.
hack and slash game.
Yeah, it was funny though because all these people.
And then they start stacking
Yep.
up bodies on bodies. He's like walking on top.
And at the end, all you see is because he gets a knife stuck in his back.
That's the why you're like, okay.
I thought at that point, like, okay, he's gonna get knocked down, and we're gonna go back to square one.
Right
Yeah,
there.
and after he gets the knife stuck in his back, you see another door open, and another 10 people run in, and then it just cuts to a garage opening, and you see a dude with a knife through his mouth drop, and you see Josh behind him, and a pile of bodies behind him.
Jeez.
That he just fucking destroyed everyone.
That's nice.
So
I don't remember exactly what happens after he beats them up because the facility he's getting held at is not like where the main guy is.
No, it's not.
So yeah, he like beats him the fuck up. He realizes that's where he was, and it's like I'm still don't have many clues.
Yep.
But after that, he reaches out, and then I wish I remember. But
Well, the way it happens in this movie is he's back at his friend's restaurant or cafe bar, whatever, and out of nowhere, he gets a phone call with a number because usually it's just blocked numbers.
Yeah.
But now he gets a phone call with a number. So he calls the number and he hears a phone ringing in the bar. And he turns around and there's the motherfucker with the Asian lady that was in the beginning and the main guy. And then he gets up to go beat the fuck out of the main guy, and the Asian lady does some kung fu shit on him.
yes, the Asian lady is like a blonde Korean guy.
Yep.
In the Korean.
Oh no! And
Hilarious.
then the bad guy tells him, "Kill me now and never know why."
That's the coldest part. The coldest part is how he keeps him not to kill him.
Yep. He's like, "Kill me now and never know why." This random as fuck. Who kidnaps someone to imprison them and feed them well for 20 years?
It's a whole ruse for a nice ending.
I can't wait till we get to the ending. We're almost there, but he then finds out. He's like, "Okay, you have 48 hours. You have exactly 2 days to answer 2 questions. You're gonna play my game. Yeah. The 2 questions are what's my name? What is my real name? And why did I kidnap you and imprison you for 20 years? And if you answer these 2 questions, here's my handwritten confession that I held you for 20 years. Here is a box full of diamonds, and I won't kill your daughter. But if you fail my game, I kill your daughter, and I let you live with it for the rest of your life, and you will never know why. And you're gonna be running from like the cops for the rest of your life because he's like super wanted. Yeah, he's super wanted. So the whole thing was like this guy's gonna give his confession.
He's trying to get it.
Yeah,
Well, in the Korean, the police is not really that involved. He actually just wants to.
Well, you
just
never see the
figure it
police.
out.
You never see the police. You just know he's super wanted.
It's like a threat.
It's like a threat to him that he knows he's wanted.
Yeah.
But nobody's looking for him. He's disappeared for 20 years.
Yeah.
So they thought he's pronounced dead. But he can't ever do anything with his life.
Exactly.
So he finally gets home, and that's where the girl is strapped up, like panties down and everything, to some table. And Samuel L. Jackson's goons are there, and they get him, and they put him on the ground. And Samuel L. Jackson draws the same line on his neck, and he's about to go, and he's like,
great.
And he's about to get like revenge for him, and he gets a phone call, and he's like, the guy's like, don't kill him, don't do anything, don't touch him. Yeah. He's like, who are you to tell me not to? And there's a knock on the door. He opens the door, there's a bag full of cash.
Oh,
and he's like, pleasure doing business with you. Hangs up. He's like, you're unlucky motherfucker, and just leaves him.
That's nice.
So then.
And then the girl and him are there by themselves, and she's freaking
I have another movie that y'all gotta watch after.
So he saves the girl essentially, and they start.
He saves the girls too, and they saves the girl too, and they start fucking.
And they start.
I don't remember if it was like that, but they did fuck on one, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah. That's the problem. And we're excited for him.
Exactly.
We thought it was a good thing.
Yo, 20 years?
Man didn't get 20 years. And he finally got it, bro.
You're happy.
Except at the end of the movie, we realized that it's not the pussy he wanted.
No.
I don't think it's the pussy anybody wants. But he starts doing research, going through some fucking Batman detective montage shit, just doing his due diligence, finds out who this guy is. It's a guy that he bullied when he was in school, when he was 16. He bullied his girlfriend or something like that. Or his sister. Because he spread gossip that her dad was fucking his sister.
Same. In this movie, there's he figures out his past life and some gossip about this girl or whatever. But it wasn't really why he did it. He didn't know exactly why. But then he tells him at the end. Does that happen in this one?
Yes.
Okay.
So he knows that he spread gossip about this girl. And he knows the kid he did it to. And the gossip, the rumor was that it was like an incestual family. That was the rumor. Which is not a rumor. It's very true.
Yeah, it was true. It was definitely true.
It was definitely extremely true. And so at this point, really, we can fast forward to the end of the movie because that's the whole thing is the detective scenes, finding out. He finally figures out. The guy essentially goes and kidnaps kidnaps his daughter, his fake daughter, and he sends him videos of his daughter being gagged up. Yeah. Fake daughter. Oh, you guys, people don't know it's the fake daughter yet.
Yeah.
But he gets to the end. He gets to the guy's apartment, this penthouse, because this guy's a multi-trillionaire. And the Asian lady's there, tries to fight him. He's like, no. Back of a hammer straight to the forehead. Down. Yeah, down. She's dead. Out. She's dead. And it was just him and the bad guy.
Main bad guy.
And the bad guy. The bad guy. He's like, where's my daughter? He's like, he shows him a video of his daughter gagged up. And he's like, she's very close, actually. She's super close. Closer than you may think. And he's like, bring me to her. And he's like, and do you have the answer of both of my questions? And he shows him the diamonds again and his handwritten note. And he's like, yeah, your name is Anatoly something. And the reason, he's like, yeah, and what's the reason I imprisoned you for 20 years? He's like, I spread rumors back when we were in school about this. And then he goes in depth into this weird montage thing of like a flashback of his dad. So his dad ran this weird house. That's the main guy's flashback, right? The bad guy. Yeah,
those
bad guys
are wild.
Creepy. So you see his dad, walk into like the daughter's room. Yeah. Oh. So I'm talking about the bad guy's dad.
That one's grosser.
This is gross. So I'm talking about the bad guy's dad. They looked like they lived in some plantation house. It was weird.
Yeah.
So the bad guy's dad was walking into the bad guy's sister's room, and you see her like, hi.
She's not bad, okay? She's just in poor consequences.
Yeah, but it's weird because they're brainwashed. Like the family, this is normal to the family.
Well, when you have somebody who's an abuser and then the child is gonna get brainwashed.
Yeah, no. So that like when he walks into his daughter's room, she's like, "Dad," and starts like unrobing.
You see that? It's just uncensored.
No, but then his dad, bah, shotgun to the chest.
The girl
Shoots the girl in the flashback. And then the dad turns around. His wife's coming down the stairs. Bah, shotgun to the chest for his wife. And then he goes downstairs and he sees his son. And his son's like, Dad. And starts taking his pants off. And boom, shotgun to the shoulder. Right here to the whole like right arm. It's like the whole like this side of his body. It doesn't kill him.
I didn't see that.
And then he blows his brains out.
Wow.
And then you see that the bad guy has a huge scar on this side of his body. That's where he got shot. And
that's his story.
And his bad guy, he was okay with fucking his dad.
Yeah.
Like that was his life. He loved his dad. And he was expressing that to him. He was like, you took everything away from me. The relationship I have with my dad, you took from me. So anyway, he's like, take me to my daughter. But he's like, you win my game. I'll take you to your daughter.
Oh.
He takes him downstairs and there's a fake set. A fake set for where the interviews were happening. All the shows he was watching were fake.
Oh, that's when you get the flip.
That's where the flip begins.
Wow.
And then he starts freaking out that everything he saw was fake.
He's like, this murder mystery crime that you watch on TV has only one viewer.
That whole when the flip happens, it's just him narrating back the movie in certain moments.
Yeah.
To show him how he was hypnotized. But keep telling.
But he's instead of doing the flashback, it was just showing him
exactly
for real. Yeah. So then he turns around. He's like, "Where's my daughter?" And he points to like this glass box, and there's some girl there playing the cello with a black eye.
Which is the
and then
with a fake daughter.
That's the daughter that he grew up seeing.
That
grow up.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what was her real name? Kim?
Ashley. Her real name?
No,
Mia.
It's fine, bro. The Korean ones, I wish I could remember.
Yeah, no, he's like
Odesu is the main guy.
No,
Odesu.
Joseph.
Which means one day at a time, baby.
He was like, Mia, like I'm here, release her. And he's like, look at her. And she's like wiping off the makeup, and she just gets up and walks out. And he's like, that's actually a very highly paid actress named Ashley, who I've had under my employ for 10 years. And that's the girl you've seen grow. That's not your daughter. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you haven't asked the one question you should have asked. And he's like, what is that? Why? Or why did I release you?
Exactly. That's the
why
same
did I let
question.
you come out?
Same.
And he then starts playing a tape. He's like, this is your daughter. And he shows the beginning, and it's the girl and the nurse.
Nuts.
And it shows pictures of her growing up through school, and then it shows the video of both of them.
Fucking, they have just like the creepy camcorder.
And then you see Josh, such a disturbed scream. He starts screaming.
What does he do?
He gets on his knees and starts screaming, and there's like opera music playing, and the bad guy is just like this. The bad guy's just like, yes.
How funny.
20 years waiting for that moment. And he's like, now you know exactly what I had and what you took from me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I had the incest.
He wants him to feel the same thing. That's why I was like, watch the movie. I want you to feel the same thing.
At that moment, when he starts playing the tape of the daughter growing up, bro, ask Nikki, I started freaking out. My heartbeats per minute went crazy at the end. Because in the Korean one, the last scene happens all in his penthouse. This nice penthouse. No, we're still in the penthouse, but we're like in another room.
Well, same. Well, let me tell you about the Korean one. The Korean guy, the main mad guy. The thing that he holds against him is you're never gonna know why if you kill me, and you can kill me if you want.
That's what he said.
But there's a thing in the movie where the bad guy in this movie got a heart ticker, and he paid like $500,000 for this sketchy ass surgeon to put a switch on him. So he has a kill switch for himself, and he's like, "Get close to me. I'll just kill myself. You won't get the satisfaction of killing me or knowing what happened."
Yeah.
So that's in the movie. That's why he never like tries really to go kill him, because he really wants to find out, or he's just gonna flip the switch on him. So in the last scene where they're telling everything, and he's like, "You never asked me like why I let you out," and he says it's all a plan, and that's where you get the flashbacks in this movie. He gets hypnotized. So when they meet, him and his daughter, they were both hypnotized. They meet and they're hypnotized to fall in love, all perfectly planned, and he explains it. And there's like, in the movie, you get you get super spooked because everybody that meets him outside in the road, every time that he got out or like he was out of his strategy or his path for him, somebody that worked for him would like nudge him into the way. Like he would be beat up on the streets, but then some random guy would help him into a taxi and say like, "Have good luck, Odesu," or whatever. And he'd be like, "What the fuck? How do you know my name?" And then the taxi would just take him to his house.
Yep, that happened a lot too. Yeah,
It's like I wish I could remember the whole last scene of him just telling every single step that he planned and that you just thought was just nonchalant, just real life him trying to figure it out.
he explained it by saying that he grew his daughter. He's like, I essentially grew her for 20 years for this.
In the Korean movie, as soon as he knows what happens in a Greek storytelling way, he just cuts his tongue off. In the Korean one,
Who?
Odesu, the main character.
He cuts his tongue
He's
off?
stuck his tongue off because he'll never speak. Ever
So
again.
what in this movie what happened? First of all, right after the main guy starts begging the bad guy, kill me, please, please.
Yeah, main guy
kill
should
me.
kill me. I don't want.
He says, kill me.
live anymore.
And he's like, I don't want to kill you.
Yeah.
He's like, this is exactly what I've been waiting for 20 years. I didn't kill you to be able to witness this moment with you. He said that.
For you
And
to
then-
live on with it.
And then as Joe starts freaking out again, he's like, forgive me, God or heaven or something like that. And he blows his brains out.
Well, the bad guy. Yeah,
The
the
bad
bad guy in this movie also blows his brains out. But the cool thing is that the main guy, Odesu, he like finds out, and you realize that after the whole fight, he has to switch.
Who, Odesu?
Yeah, the main guy has
Yeah.
to switch. He's like, haha. He flips it. Nothing happened. It was a fake thing. And then the main bad guy's like going down the elevator, like, yeah, I got it done. Looks around, just nonchalant,
Yeah.
blows his brains out.
I was expecting him to kill himself.
And then after he kills him, there's an extra scene at the end.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
that's the scene where
that-
you're like, what happened there?
So it was everything just
What
kept
do you
getting
think
weird.
happened there? I want to know.
So wait, hold on. Before we talk about that scene, because I think
Tell me the scene.
there might be two different
Yeah,
scenes
tell
here.
me how the scene goes.
So essentially, after that, he writes his daughter saying, "I'm never gonna see you again. You're never gonna see me." He puts the little duck, the rubber duck, in this box.
Doggy.
Yeah,
Mm.
that duck comes.
No.
That duck
in
comes
the,
back.
In the Korean movie, while he's telling him the flashback and thing, his daughter is back at the holding place that he was at with some people that he worked with, getting a box. And when she's opening the box, while the story is being told, you see the wings, and that's when you connect that that's his daughter, and you're like, freak out.
No, you can ask what that's his daughter when he plays like a slideshow for them. But
But yeah,
are you guys watching the movie?
it's a really good movie.
I'm done. Okay, bye.
Chaito.
No, so he writes her about diamonds and he gives her diamonds.
Oh,
Sends her
'cause
diamonds.
he does have the money.
He does have the money. He gets the money, he gets the diamonds, and he sends her a box with the notes, the duck, and the diamonds. And he's like, "You're never gonna see me again. Thank you so much for everything. You deserve better. Do better for yourself." And it's then him back in the cell. He checked himself back into that place at the end. That's what happens in this movie.
That's
you see
the
him.
shitty end.
You see him check himself back, and the last thing you see is the fucking dumplings getting slid under the door, and you see his face smiling, and an end.
Korean one, 100% better ending. There's no.
I want to know.
way,
Okay, what
bro.
happens? What happens? What happens?
I wish I could remember exactly. But then when he knows the bad guy blows his brains out, he goes to the Netherlands. He just wants to get the fuck away, right? Goes to Netherlands.
But he doesn't have a tongue.
Don't have a tongue. Jeez. He gets a lady because he knows he's been hypnotized, and for real, I guess it is for real. He gets a lady to hypnotize him in the middle of like some wild snowy place, and then it's like, "Are you ready?" And then he's talking about, "I would just want to find out, forget all about all of Desu, I want to start the new one. The old one, the fuck this one, let's keep that away. I want the new one." And then the hypnotist starts, blacks out. Now there's not even chairs anymore. He's just on the snow in the Netherlands, far away in the snow. Wakes up. He's like, "Whoa!" And then you see him like with a different stance or whatever. He looks right, and from across the street, his daughter comes out of nowhere, and they hug. because the daughter has no idea what's going on. He doesn't have a tongue. You don't know if he was hypnotized to forget everything. So he either tells her or lives happily ever after with the woman he met.
Or it's heaven.
Because the problem is, like, in the movie,
Because how's the daughter in the Netherlands?
I don't know. He made it happen after he killed himself. He made it happen that they could meet up or hypnotized her to, I don't know. They end up finding each other in the Netherlands, and now he has to decide live with her, or you don't even know it if the hypnotist removed that memory of his brain. So you're like, oh, now you live. This is like your partner now, or you just have to tell her somehow by notes because you don't have a tongue anymore.
Damn.
I love that ending. That's where Hugo and I were just talking like, oh my God, what happened here?
That's crazy.
And that's the last scene is him hugging his daughter that now you know is his daughter that he fucked, and they're in a relationship, loving relationship. He's just hugging him and he crying, but like a weird crying. So you never know if he's crying of happiness because he doesn't know anything, just the love that they had before knowing that was his daughter. And there's like a line, I forgot, it was like, it's better to be a beast or whatever. Oh, you gotta watch it. But I like that ending better. What do you think?
I like your ending.
I really don't like the ending of him signing himself up again.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know, bro. He said he couldn't live with himself anymore. That's what it was.
It is. Like, I understand. But this one is a more rough, like, oh, fuck you. You gonna live with this.
Yeah.
Like, it's an actual, like, in this is probably super American. In that movie, he kind of wins. He doesn't get to live. He doesn't. Yeah, he does. The main guy doesn't get to win.
No, the main guy dies. And then his daughter lives a happily ever after, not knowing what happened.
Not knowing what happened. But yeah, exactly. In the Korean, the daughter also doesn't know what happened.
Yeah.
But in the American one, he just gets to be in a cell forever. In the Korean one, he gets to actually live it.
Yeah.
Which is what the bad guy actually wanted.
The first thing I told Nikki at the end of it was like, the bad guy won.
Yeah, no, he won.
He fucking, that's the most.
If that's what he wanted to do.
Dude, that is the most mic drop moment in history of film. That was the twist was so crazy. Holy fuck.
Another movie that now that we're in like Twisties movies, have you watched Training Day?
Training Day, I've heard it. Heard of it. Oh. It's a fighting movie, right?
Boy, that's what you would think, right?
It's not a fighting movie.
Not at all. It's a movie about like a new detective, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So it's just like this guy with a wife and a kid. He works for the force, and this day is Training Day. It's all in one day. I think it's all in one day, and it's the wildest one day for a new detective. He's like, hey, let me try you out as my like partner as a detective. Come with me, and that's it. Is this white guy? Forgot his name, and Samuel L. Jackson, I believe. He eats that part, bro. Have you ever seen that gif of like Samuel L. Jackson like this around like a bunch of people? It's like, oh, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Oh, that scene when it comes on, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, the gif will mean so much more to you after you see that meme. Like when you actually send it, you will know what it actually means.
Training Day.
When he says, "Oh, you motherfuckers."
I know it's on Netflix.
It should be on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
You gotta watch it. It's really good.
Staying on the topic of Twisties, then you've seen Seven? I know you have.
Nope.
You haven't seen Seven?
No. I'm watching a bunch of movies. Yo,
you haven't seen Seven?
I spent 7 hours watching the Godfather because I didn't.
Spend 70 minutes watching Seven.
Well,
bro, holy shit.
Is 70 because it's 7?
No, I don't know if it's 70 minutes. I just said that. Oh. The movie's, I think, it's 2 hours.
7.
That'd be good. I think the movie 7 is 2 hours.
I don't even know what it's about. Numbers?
Holy, no. It's about okay, so I'll give you a little bit of a synopsis, but not spoilery. No, you need to watch this movie. If there's a movie you need to watch. Did we ever watch 7? What's in the fucking box?
Oh, that I know. But
you know what's in the box?
No, what's in the box?
I'm not gonna tell you what's in the box. I'm not gonna tell you what's in the box. If you're telling me you're gonna watch it, I'm not gonna tell you what's in the box.
I'm gonna watch it for sure. It's definitely on the website that I use. And,
bro, 7 is my top 2 favorite movies ever. Ooh. So
have you watched Memento?
Memento, no.
Yes.
Nikki has.
There we go. That's something you're missing out,
You've
bro.
seen it.
Look. Let me. No, don't even tell him shit.
Wait, if I've seen
But
it,
it's a long time ago.
jog my
like,
memory. Jog my memory.
It's the guy who like forgets every like 30 seconds.
Oh, you watched it with him?
No, I know he did.
Okay. No,
I
it's
think
short memory term.
Short-term memory. Yes.
Yeah, short-term memory.
Yes, I
guy,
understand.
And
Yeah.
he like tattoos,
Yep,
like things. How you gotta watch the film normally and then backwards.
Really?
You gotta find it backwards.
We'll watch it again. It's been a while till we just watch
It's
it.
a wild
No,
movie.
but I gotta really dig
No, watch
deep.
Training Day. Watch Training Day. You
Okay,
both
we'll
have
watch
it.
Training Day. You watch 7.
I'll watch
I
7.
have to. I have to. What's it? Brand 7 in your brain right now, because if you think,
Just give me a little
I'll give you a little rundown.
trailer.
So it's a buddy cop movie, a really cool buddy cop movie.
Ooh.
But it's very dark. It's with Brad Pitt, and he plays such a cool role in this movie.
He's
and
cute.
Morgan Freeman is his buddy cop. So he became a detective. Brad Pitt got promoted to detective, and
Just based on actors, I'm watching it.
yeah, and Morgan Freeman. Oh, and the bad guy is Kevin Spacey.
Just foreshadowing.
just letting you know. There was no 14-year-old boys in this movie, so
I mean,
Kevin Spacey was probably
in camera.
on camera. There was no 14-year-olds behind camera.
In his trailer.
In his trailer, maybe, but
No cameras there.
So Morgan Freeman's about to retire, and he comes on. Brad Pitt comes on this case of the serial killer, and essentially the
this
serial
is
killer
good.
he's a weird serial killer because he's basing every one of his kills on one of the 7 deadly sins. So, for example,
They did
we
that,
watched it.
They did in Dexter they did something.
No,
like
so what happens is, for example, I'll give you one of the kills. Some of the kills are disgusting. You don't see the actual act, but you see
that. Like,
afterwards,
aftermath,
and they
there's, like,
explain.
somebody-
There's some very disturbing ones.
I like
but for greed, it's not greed. For sloth, was it sloth or greed? I think it was greed. For greed, he gets a dude who is fat as shit, and he straps him to a table and force feeds him like SpaghettiOs, but like until his stomach explodes.
Yeah, like a goose.
Until his stomach explodes.
Who was his good?
And this dude was already like 800 pounds. Like, this dude was really, really fat before. So he was just trying to explain like his kill.
What's in the box? That's the movie?
That's what's in the box.
Whoa, that's crazy.
No, because at the end,
I'm watching that shit tonight.
you have to, bro, because he has his wife, and it's a really good relationship with his wife, and him and Morgan Freeman become. But it's just this huge chase, and I'm not gonna tell you anymore. But there's a twist, crazy twist. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you the twist, but god damn, that movie's good.
Also, another movie. This is not a twisty movie. This is just like nice film. Just how many of the Tarantino movies? Have you
All of
watched?
them.
All of them. Never mind. I watched Death Proof the other day.
Yep.
Oh, how good.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
he doesn't fail.
Good.
He doesn't
God
fail.
damn it. Even if I don't know, I just like his style. So
Dude, it's a
good.
great style.
Also, wild premise for Death Proof.
Yeah.
And the scenes.
Like my favorite movie of all time is *Inglourious Bastards*, and that's a Tarantino movie.
That's interesting. I don't think I could put a finger on my favorite movie ever.
The only reason I'll say it's my favorite movie is because it's, first of all, I've seen it probably over 40 times. Like genuinely 40
shit! If we're
times.
talking about how many times have I rewatched the movie, it must be Atlantis, but whatever.
Atlantis?
Atlantis, yeah.
That's
But as a kid,
legendary.
I really. Yeah, I know.
I mean, we're off
okay.
amount of times. Mine's also a kid's movie. Mine's Dinosaur.
Exactly.
I've seen
Like
Dinosaur.
the Dinosaur, me too. I had the VHS for that shit.
Me too. I
watched
still
it
have the VHS.
I used to have it. You just put it on TV. It's better than cartoons.
Better than anything. Dinosaur is goated. Best.
Yeah.
To me, that's the best Disney movie ever.
I always wanted one of those weird, just pill-shaped eggs in the movie. Oh no! Wait,
What are you talking about?
Which dinosaur are you talking
I'm talking about Dinosaur. Are you talking about Land of the...
The 3D movie weird shit with the dinosaurs by Disney.
Yeah, Disney.
That's
the
the
dinosaur
one.
with the Carnotaur is the
With
main bad guy. The demon
T-Rex,
dinosaur.
whatever.
He's got like horns.
It's a like 3D model or
Yeah, it's
drawn?
animation.
No, then it's the same one.
What
They have,
pill?
like-
What
Yo,
pill?
it's just like a weird little egg that looks like a pill.
Okay, yes, okay,
Yes.
but you're saying a peeled bag. I was like, what bag?
No. It looked like a
Yeah, no,
Tic Tac.
the eggs look
Looked
like
a
Tic
Tic
Tacs.
Tac.
The eggs look
Yeah.
like Tic Tacs. Yeah. No, Dinosaur is fantastic. Bro, that used to terrify me. That like the night scene where he's like hiding behind rocks and you see the giant carnotaurs like just kind of like over. Damn, that dinosaur was scary.
I remember seeing. Damn, the first thing that scared me. I don't know. Not in a movie.
Oh, I'll tell you
No.
the first thing that scared me.
It's what's that
stupid.
movie? No, my first thing that terrified me. Well, it's the first scary movie I ever watched was this movie with Shia LaBeouf where his neighbor is a killer or something like that. I forgot the name. If you look up Shia LaBeouf Next Door Neighbor Killer movie.
Okay.
But like it was just terrifying. It was like just the first one to watch. It wasn't even like The Exorcist where you're like, oh, that would traumatize you.
Well, the first horror
So
movie.
that one.
First horror movie to like fuck me up.
Everyone's slurping.
I don't know if my mic can pick it up, but my dog is going down on water right now.
But let's see if we can hear him. Like, oh hell yeah, you can hear that.
I don't know if I could hear it.
I'm picking up the timing of the
You good?
Okay, you parched? Not anymore, I guess. The first horror movie to fuck me up for like weeks, because when I was a kid, anything scary I couldn't handle it, and it would like ruin me.
Same
and I couldn't
here.
sleep alone. I couldn't do anything.
Me being an internet kid, scary movies were too scary for me because of the amount of jump scares I was.
Yep.
I was a victim to in the internet.
The white car.
No,
white car,
that one. Okay, well, that one you see it once, you never touch. You
Ever
see that
again.
car, you know when to click out.
Immediately.
But like they would get me with everything because I would be in the internet looking the weirdest shit.
I just
up.
random shit would pop up. Yep.
I would look up the weirdest shit up, like cat
Randomness.
videos, and then one of the cat videos had a jump scare.
Yeah.
There was at one point a lot of jump scares.
There was a moment in
That's
our
scary.
times that it was jump scares were just in. But there was this movie I was watching. I went to go watch Knowing. Have you seen the movie Knowing with Nicolas Cage? It's like an end of the world movie
No.
where
Tell me a little bit more, maybe.
it's an end of the world movie. It starts like some girl like writing numbers down, and each of the numbers or like the amount of people that were gonna die each day. And she wrote down enough numbers for like 20 years.
No, I don't know.
And there was like a time capsule. The kid sees a time capsule. He opens the time capsule. The school opens the time capsule, and the kid gets a paper with the numbers. And people start dying every day, and the dad starts
Right,
realizing the numbers are
Makes sense
going.
and shit. And that's Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Oh.
That was before he kind of went haywire, but it was good.
Been here.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Very good movie. His spending habits aren't too good, but
Oh wait, is it Nick? Yeah, Nicolas Cage has like wild things. Just
dude,
like
Nicolas Cage has 6 islands, 2 full T-Rex skeletons.
what about Johnny Depp? That boy also.
Yeah,
knows how to
Johnny
spend
Depp
his
also
money.
knows how to spend his money.
I remember it. I don't even remember where I heard it, but it was like his spending for like the dumbest thing ever is like $2 million. It's like what?
Oh, it was $2 million a month.
Over
There was a
for, like,
time when he was spending
something.
$2 million on things.
Yeah, just
On just things.
Hey, person that takes that makes manages my finances. $2 million on things. Sorry,
Yeah,
and alcohol. I bet.
yeah,
One
and Band-Aids from Amber Heard.
And bandanas, of course,
Yeah.
and a lot of chains and scarves.
I don't know. I don't. When people dress like that, I don't see how it's comfortable.
It's cool though. You
It
know?
is cool.
If you were
It fits
crazy,
him.
that's a problem. You like
He's a real life Jack Sparrow.
it looks crazy, but it looks cool. You have to be so not crazy and wear that to be cool, you know? Because if you're crazy and wear that, you're like, oh, that fits you. You're crazy.
Yeah,
Those scarves, yeah, that's why you have 7 of them because you're crazy. But if
7
you wear
scarves,
clothes-
like 20 earrings in each
if
ear.
you're like, no, I'm just trying something out new and I kind of like fashion, you know, that's cool. But no, I'm a millionaire. I don't know.
I get beat up by Aquawoman.
I've seen that. Didn't he shit on the bed? Somebody shit on the bed.
She shit on his bed, and she still has a job in Hollywood, and
You
he
do that?
doesn't.
When you get married,
Nikki shits on my bed any day. I will.
dude, that's a breakup. That's a breakup.
That's
Like
not-
that's
that's a
not
breakup.
that's not even that. You
That doesn't-
can't. We can't talk that through. You don't talk that through.
No, we don't.
No, that's
We don't talk that through.
That's sorry, mental illness, isn't it? Just ooh.
Yeah.
Is that the sponsor?
That's the sponsor.
Oh no, is that it? Oh no.
But, are you gonna watch the movie I told you?
Oh.
No, you have to watch it. You have no option. You have to watch it.
Maybe
Trust me. Whenever I push movies on you, I'm always right.
Training day, maybe.
Yeah, get the dogs and close the door, please.
But the dogs will follow the pizza. Don't worry.
Oh, they'll follow a peanut.
No, that says something young right there. No.
But
For me, scary movies, like, I don't know. There was a switch after I started downloading legal movies online. I downloaded all the scary movies. You know those?
Yeah.
They make fun of scary
yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Well, I watched those before I got into scary movies. So
Yep.
they made scary movies not
Wait, so
scary.
there was a switch for you, right? At one point, where you
After
went
I
from being
watched-
terrified from horror movies.
But it was after I literally watched every single
You watch
scary
something
movie.
make fun of the scary movies,
Yes.
so it makes you feel better when you watch the actual scary.
After I watched it, I was like, Saw never, because they just made
Well,
it seem stupid.
Subliminally, I think that might have been what happened to me as well, because there was a point where, as a kid growing up, I couldn't stomach even Courage the Cowardly Dog was too much for me.
Damn, you was a soft kid, bro. You were soft.
Dude, that was scary.
You were a soft kid.
What time is it? Quick, what time is it on the camera?
105.
Okay.
Right there.
¿Tenemos más?
Oh, don't say that.
¿Puedes encerrarte con el perro, por favor?
Perrito.
105. Gotta remember that.
Do you ever use?
Oh, I remember. 18143.
Great.
You
Cierra la
ever,
puerta.
you ever use LimeWire and stuff?
Lime?
LimeWire or
Yeah,
in
for the music?
Venezuela, we use something called Aris.
No.
Aris or whatever.
Yeah.
That one, just scary movie.
Really?
It was like a peer-to-peer, so you would just hope whatever they have labeled as scary movie is scary movie.
Oh, not an actual
Because
scary movie.
As a kid, you would download stuff that was labeled something else.
Oh, yep.
And it was just straight up pornography. Like Madagascar 1. You want to watch that? It's a 50-50. It's either Madagascar or Asian porn. That's how
One of the
but
two.
it's free though. It's a 50-50. There's other files you can try, but that was the
You wanna know what the
wildest-
worst experience I've had with that was? When I was in third grade, I bought a
I don't think I
Lunchables.
was in third grade.
There was a Lunchable sweepstakes called Maxed Out, and you would essentially buy the Lunchables, and there would be a code on it, and if you were one of the lucky people to get a code,
Gambler right there.
you would get money.
That was-
So I got the code one day, and I started freaking out. So I went home to the computer, and my mom wasn't around, and I typed maxedout.com. I might have slipped and might have put one too many X's, because the first thing that pops up is this black website full of titties, and there was a picture of a dude with dick next to a bus, and his dick was longer than the bus.
That's when the questions come in. Like, what did I watch?
Bro, I started going, Mom,
Yeah.
Mom.
I'm
I
telling
had my
you,
Lunchables box. I swear to
Yeah.
God, I had the Lunchables box in my hand. I started freaking out. Mom. And
Oh,
that
no.
was terrifying.
Close that.
Yeah, no, dude, that was bad. No, but back to the Switch thing, because that's very interesting you bring that up. Because to me, growing up, I was scared of every horror movie. But there's a point that nowadays, it's the only movies that I really enjoy are horror movies.
Yeah.
Like, it got to the point where I don't enjoy I can't just sit down and watch like a drama anymore.
Mhm.
A movie, like Nikki's like, what movie are you gonna watch tonight? I'm like, let's pick a horror movie.
It's
Something.
the worst.
It just keeps, because it just keeps me entertaining.
20 minutes for movies. He's like, nope, this one's bad.
You say scary movies, because
They're just exciting. It's an adrenaline rush that I get. I don't know.
it's a feeling you don't get with other movies.
Yeah, exactly.
A good scary movie makes you feel something other movies don't make.
A-
Or a feeling that I really don't want to feel. You know?
To me, there's
I don't wanna be sad.
there's 2 or 3 feelings I get with a horror movie to tell me that's a really good horror movie. There's one that gets me real scared to like, damn, that was a spooky movie. Like the jump scares got me. Everything just landed good. But then at the end of the
I
movie,
rarely get scared. Man.
but at the end of the movie, that's what I'm saying. It's hard for me to get
Yeah.
scared. But that's how I know if it's a good one.
I appreciate their
Yeah.
how they did
But
it.
if it
they
works-
did it good.
At the end of the movie, I won't be freaked out. I'm like, damn, that was a creepy movie. But then there's the movies that freak me out internally, to that like I think about it. It's like if I think about this movie, it still like haunts me a little bit.
Like more mentally.
Yeah, like
messed up.
the movies that really scare me aren't the movies that are inherently like big monster under your bed, scary, demon possessed, all this shit.
And those movies come out bad.
Yeah.
This movie come out bad. It's better when they keep them away.
Yep.
They like hint them out
Yep.
and they close the door. You see the blood underneath.
But the big reveal doesn't happen until the end or something.
And the big reveal, they fucking spend that money on that big reveal.
Yup, they make sure to. So, to me, a movie, I don't know if. Oh, okay. I told you to watch 7.
I'm watching.
There's another movie that I need you to watch if you haven't seen it. Have you seen As Above, So Below?
Oh my god.
Wait, that's.
The Paris Catacomb movie.
Oh, no, I have not watched that one.
That's the next movie you watch.
Louis, don't do it alone. I beg.
Really? Don't do it alone?
Do it alone.
I can
Don't be a
watch it.
pussy.
No, I
Are
can.
you kidding me? He can't.
I would have look. That's the problem. That's when the switch happens. When I'm watching the movie and I'm like appreciating how they're trying to scare me, but I'm like my suspend of belief. When you go to a movie theater, you're with people. You're trying to suspend your belief to be
hard.
scared.
It's hard.
But for me, I'm like, ooh, what a nice shot. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm like outside of it, outside of the experience, which is kind of terrible.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
It's
I'm
terrible
the same
because
way, bro.
because it makes you overthink things and you're not enjoying it because you're like, they could have made that better. Or,
I always think of the director's shot or decision that he's made in every movie.
And
So I
I'm
don't
like, that's
understand.
corny.
He's like, there's like 30 people behind the scene right now.
Like,
watching.
yeah.
So,
I better watch if it's a good scary movie I want to watch. I go to the theater because I need to see like the reaction of like people who really not think like.
Okay. Well,
Like I like people reacting next to me, and I'm like, ooh,
do me a favor.
that's a good one. This whatever he did here was good. I can hear.
Do me a favor. Watch when you get home tonight.
As above.
Watch 7 tomorrow. Watch As Above, So Below
I'm gonna
today.
ask Kat if she watched it. If not, I'm watching it with her in Utah.
Watch it with her
what?
in Utah.
Yeah.
Okay, when are you leaving?
Are you going with Esteban?
I cannot be said in the podcast. That is secret.
This podcast might not come out till when you get
it's
back.
fine. I'm soon, like the 3rd.
The 3rd of August.
Yeah.
This podcast comes out.
Wait, aren't you going with Esteban?
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, that boy gonna be 3rd wheeling. I'm sorry, Esteban.